Okay. Uh, when we when we start the operating system, booting will happen, right? What is the meaning of booting? Who will do the booting? We discussed already. There will be RAM and ROM. ROM contains three functionalities. One is post, second one is BSL, and third one is drivers. First it will do the post activity. Post means what? Power on self test. Then it will do the BSL, bootstrap loader. So it will pick one bootable file from your operating system and it will boot your operating system. So there should be one starting point for your operating system. For like that, every application will have some starting point, right? For example, when I say VMware or Screen Record, any application, if I start, there will be one executable file which is executing in a backend. That executable file will start this, right? For that, we'll have environment variables at OS level, the system variables that will read that system variable and it will read your software and it will open your software. The same way, when you start your SAP system now, there will be one directory called profile directory. USR SAP SID sys profile. USR SAP SID sys profile. Don't worry, this is the old system I am showing you today. I'll show you the difference between the old and new. I'll compare both the things while I'll teaching. Don't think I am explaining you on old software. I'll go with that software also. Okay. See, what is the profile directory? USR SAP SID sys profile. This is my profile directory, right? First it will go and read the profile directory. When you say start, if you open MMC and right click on your system and say start now, then at OS level it will go and read your profile directory. Remember that. In that profile directory you have three profiles. One is default profile, second one is start profile, third one is instance profile. First it will read the start profile. The start profile contains the starting sequence of your SAP system. How your SAP system should start, that will be written in the start profile. Then it will give shake hand to default profile. Default profile contains the common information of your SAP system. And after that, it will give shake hand to instance profile. Instance specific information will be stored in this profile. By reading these profiles, your system will start. Remember that. So how many profiles we have? How many types of profiles we have? Three types. What are they?
Default, instance, start.
Default profile, start profile, default profile, and instance profile. Okay. Start profile means the starting sequence of SAP system. Default profile means the common information of SAP system. And instance profile means instance specific information. I'll explain each and every one, don't worry. And see, the naming convention of start profile. Start underscore instance name underscore host name. Default profile naming convention will be default.pfl. And instance profile naming convention SID underscore instance name underscore host name. You know these technical words, right? You know SID. What is SID? What is instance number? What is host name, right? Do you have any doubt in the SID, instance name, host name? Any doubt?
No, bhai.
No. Very good. See.
No, sir.
Okay, I'll draw an image now. How many SAP systems I have here?
One
SAP system. Okay. One SAP system. Give some SIDs. SAP SID, Dave. And my DB SID, Dave.
Why your screen is not visible?
Okay. Thank you. SAP SID, Dave. DB SID, Dave. And my host name is some India. Okay. and I have Japan and
Korea.
Korea, and I'll go with
China.
India only. That means these two are only one system. Remember, if I'm
Yes.
giving two same host names means one hardware only. In one hardware only, I'm installing my application as well as database. What is that installation called?
Central.
Central installation. Very good. Right.
Center.
Don't have any doubt in this, right? Okay. See now, what is this instance? First instance name is what? ASCS.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
For example,
PAS.
0, 0, 0. Don't say PAS, boss. There is a naming convention for PAS. What is that naming convention? DVEMBGS 01. Okay, this is DVEMBGS 02. Any number. DVEMB. Sorry. DVBGS 03.
Zero one.
This is also.
Sorry.
Yes. Changing. This one, no? Yeah. DVBGS 02. Can I write that? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Am I right or wrong in this image? Everything is fine. Or something is fishy.
Yes.
Anything wrong or everything is okay?
Wrong, bhai. You have to give DVEMBGS.
For what? For this?
Yes, bhai. Second one, Japan.
Japan. What is that? DV?
DVEMBGS.
Where is NQ? Where is message server in additional application? This is AAS, na?
Yes.
This is
No, no, no.
ASCS. Okay. See, this is ASCS. This one is PAS. And this is AS. This is AS.
Yes. Yes.
Where will be
Okay,
E and
bhai.
M?
But I
How,
thought this is Japan is PS.
how you think that? After listening to 1 week classes, how you think that that is PAS? Don't think like that, okay? Be, for clarity only, I'm explaining from the past 1 week, boss. I'll
Okay,
call
bhai.
you. I'll call you in the midnight. Remember that. I'll call you in the midnight one day. You have to answer all these questions. Okay, right. So no problem is here, right? This is one SAP system. First to take default profile. The naming convention of default profile is default.pfl. Default.pfl. In ASCS, what we have? We have message server, right? And NQ,
Thank you.
right? See,
Yes.
for all these SAP system means what? This application layer mainly. We are referring to SAP. This application layer only SAP said, right? For this SAP system, what are the things common? The common information will be stored in default profile. For this application, all application servers needs message server, right? What is the message
Yes.
server host name for all these application servers? If this application needs message server, where should it go? India, right? Message server host name is common for all. Only one message server for entire SAP system, no? Whatever the application needs message server, every application needs message server, right? Without message server, your SAP system will work? No. If
No,
this
sir.
user wants to log in, directly he cannot log in. First the request goes to message server of the central ASCS, then the dispatcher. If this user wants to log in, The request will go to message server to this dispatcher. So message server is common for all the systems, right?
Yes.
What is SAP SID for this application? SAP SID for this application. Dave,
Dev.
for this application, Dave, for these applications, Dave. So the common SAP SID is common for a whole system, right? Your SAP
Yes.
SID and DB SID. What is DB SID for a whole system?
Dev.
Dave. And database hostname.
Yes.
Database hostname for this application, whatever the application wants to connect to the database, that hostname is what? India. Database hostname is
India.
common. Message server hostname. For an entire system, message server hostname is India.
India.
Right? Message server hostname. NQ server hostname.
Yes, sir.
What is that?
India.
India. These are the common informations. SAP SID, DB SID, database hostname for these applications. Think about this application. For all application servers, SAP SID is same. For all application servers, DB SID is same. For all applications, DB hostname is same. For all applications, message server hostname is India. For all application servers, NQ server hostname is India. This is the common information. This common information will be saved in default profile. If anything is common, that will be stored in default profile. Remember that. Clear?
Yes, bhai.
Yes. The second one, start profile. Start profile contains the starting sequence of your SAP system. How your SAP system is starting. So, when you are starting your SAP system, first which application will start? ASCS, PAS or AS?
Yes. Yes.
ASCS.
ASCS. First ASCS will start. Then
Yes.
PAS will
PAS.
start. Remember interview question. PAS will start. Then
Yes. Yes.
AS.
AS.
Like that all other applications will start. At the time of shutdown, first AS, then
Yes.
PAS,
Second.
then ASCS, finally database. At the time of starting, first of all you have to start database first. Number one, database. Database is just what? Your pillar. On the database you are installing the application, right? First you install Oracle database. On the top of that, you install the application. So your pillars should be good. First of all, you have to start the database, then ASCS, then PAS, then AAS. That is the starting sequence of SAP system. The stopping sequence is what? AS, PAS, ASCS, and the database. Without starting application, can you start that? Without starting database, can you start the application? All your SAP repository is here, boss, in database. How can you start that? Right?
Yes.
You cannot start that. When applications are up and running, can you stop the database? No. First of all, you have to stop the applications, then stop the database. So, what is the starting sequence? Can anyone? Starting sequence. Remember this one. Starting.
Yes.
First, database.
ASCS.
Database, ASCS,
PAS.
PAS, AS.
AS.
This is starting sequence. Remember. What is stopping sequence?
AS.
AS,
PAS.
PAS,
ASCS.
ASCS,
Database.
Remember this. This is a basic thing. Very, very basic thing. They will ask you in the interview. If you don't know that, finish. Stopping sequence is this. Start. Okay, for example, I have multiple application servers. Now I want to stop. Which AAS I need to stop? So you are saying stopping is AAS, PAS, ASCS. I have multiple AAS. Then which AAS I need to stop?
India.
Listen to my question properly. You're saying stopping sequence, right? Now I want to stop
Yes.
this system. Okay, you are saying AAS first. So which AAS? I have two AAS now. If I have only
Japan.
one AAS, this one I will stop. If I have two,
Japan.
how you are saying?
AS 00.
AAS?
00. AS.
Let- Look at the image.
Japan.
How you are saying Japan? Everything I need a reason.
We have to pay stopping.
Anyone. You can stop anyone. Out of these two, you can stop anyone. Please, Shabana, go to mute. Anyone, you can stop anyone. AS, these two are AS, na? You can stop this first or this first. Nothing to worry. Later, you start PAS, then ASCS, then database. Is it clear?
Yes.
Who is saying 00? Why we stop 00 first was? You are saying stopping sequence is AS, PAS, then ASCS. Now I have two AS. Now I want to stop this system. First you should come from here, na? Like this. At the time of starting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stopping like this. Reverse. From in these two, both are AS only. You can stop anything first. Are you clear with this?
Yes.
Now this start profile
Yes, sir.
contains the starting sequence of SAP system. So what should it start first?
Database.
Excellent. Database. Then
ASCS.
ASCS. Then
ASCS.
PAS.
PAS.
PS. So for starting this database, there is a command called strdbs.cmd. strdbs.cmd command will be executed first. Then msg underscore server.exe. This will execute. Then remaining things, enqueue server.exe. Then this dispatcher. Then this. Then this. This will be written in the start profile. So this starting ASCS starting sequence and PA starting sequence, AS starting sequence are different, right? When I am starting ASCS, first of all I have to start the database, then message server, then enqueue. When I am starting this instance, already database started, message server started, enqueue started. Only I need to start database. And remember, now there is no start profile. There is no start profile. Start profile is obsolete. Obsolete means what? Deleted. Why they deleted the start profile? For example, when you are starting the Windows operating system, do you have any command over that Windows operating system how to start? Can you define that? Or Microsoft will define? Microsoft will define, right? The starting sequence of your Windows operating system. Who will define? Microsoft will define. The same way here also The starting sequence of your SAP system, how your SAP system should start, that is defined by SAP, not by you. So the start profile contains the starting sequence of SAP system. I cannot do any changes in that. No, don't start database first. First start message server. If I say this, will the system hear? No. So in this profile, we can't do any changes. We can't do any changes. Unnecessarily, this profile is present here. See, this profile is present where? In the profile directories. That is the start profile. There is a start profile. If accidentally, if I do any change here, if I do any change in this profile, your system will not start. If I do any changes here, see, first it is executing what? strdbs.cmd command. The system won't read this hashes. See, from here it is reading. From here to here. First it is executing strdbs.cmd command. From where? See, executable directory. What is the meaning of executable directory? Kernel directory. Go to kernel directory, you will find strdbs.cmd command and execute this one. Then it is starting msg underscore server.exe. Then it is starting display plus work.exe. See, where all these exes and all these represent in executable directory. Executable directory means go to kernel directory and start that. It is saying that. The start profile. But this start, if I accidentally, there will be no change. This is the standard default SAP defined procedure, starting sequence. If I do any change here, the customers are accidentally changing the start profile. So their systems are not getting up. That is the reason in a new versions, SAP obsolete this start profile. It deleted the start profile from here. Only now you will have default profile and instance profile. What is default profile? The common information of your SAP system. See, what is your common information? SAP SID, database host name, okay, message server host name. See, MS host, message server host name, SAP hub. The host name is SAP hub. All the common information is stored in your default profile. And instance profile contains instance specific information. What is instance specific information? Every instance has its own information, right? Every instance has its own number, name, host name, and the physical memory, and the type of work process, number of the work process. See, every instance has its own information. What is that? Every instance has its own number. What is this instance number? See, if I open this, see, instance number 01, instance name dvempgs01, and number of dialog work process, number of backgrounds, number of updates, number of enqueues, number of spools, and the physical memory of that particular instance. Within one host, you can install multiple applications. How much RAM memory you are allocating to that instance, that will be physical underscore mem underscore size. Remember, actually what happens, we have profiles, right? What this profiles contains? This profiles contains parameters. That parameters will define the runtime environment of your SAP system. See, what is this actually? Everything is a parameter. SAP system name, this is the parameter and this is value. Instance underscore name, this is parameter and this is value. And r display slash wp underscore number underscore dialog work process number, it is parameter, it is value. Background, this is parameter and this is value. These profiles contains what? Parameters. These parameters will define the runtime environment of your SAP system. How you configure? Like that it will configure. See, dialog work process 6. How many dialog work process we got here? Whatever you configure there, that many work process will be configured. 0 to 5 means 6 dialogues, and one NQ. What is configured here? See, how many spool work processes here? One. How many
One.
configured here? Only one. How many background? Two. Right? How many
Two
configured
sir.
here? BTC. Two. So these
Two.
profiles, these parameters will define the runtime environment of your SAP system. If you configure 10 dialogues here, here you will get 10 dialogues. If you configure 5 backgrounds here, you will get 5 backgrounds here. See, this profiles contains what actually? This profiles contains parameters. That parameter will define the runtime environment of your SAP system. What is the meaning of runtime environment? For example, you are a system. Okay, there are few parameters for you, right? Head is equal to 1, nose is equal to 1, ears is equal to 2, hands is equal to, legs is equal to 2. Like that you will be configured. If I change nose is equal to 1 to 2, you will get 2 noses. That is the system. Okay, this system, how your system will behave, that will define these parameters, these profiles contains what? Parameters. Every parameter will have a value. So whenever you are trying to log in into any banking website, for every 3 months, okay, can you please relog in? Only 1 minute left. When your SAP system will read these profiles, at the time of starting, remember that, at the time of starting of your
Starting.
SAP system. So first it will read which profile? Start to profile. See, by reading that
Scout.
start profile, what it will do? First, what it is doing? It is starting the database first. Then it is starting message server. Then it is starting dispatcher. This is the old system. Remember, in old system, you have message server, dispatcher, all purpose in the one instance only, right? But in a new architecture, it will change. After starting all these things, it will give shake hand to default profile. Default profile contains what? The common information of your SAP system. So even though you are 100 application servers, your SAP SID is common, DB SID is common, database hostname is common, and message server hostname is common, NQ server hostname is common. Like that information will be stored in default profile. And instance profile. Your instance profile contains the instance specific information. For example, if I have 5 instances, how many instance profiles I'll have? Anyone?
5.
5. See the name. SID underscore instance name underscore host name. If I have another one, dev underscore dvbgs02 underscore another host name or same host name. Dev underscore dvbgs03 underscore host name. dvbgs underscore another host name. If I have, every instance has its own information. Now see, if you open that instance profile, only instance specific information will be there. That instance number, instance name, and the physical memory, and the number of work process, and the type of work process. This is specific to that particular instance. If I have another instance, there will be another profile. There will be number 02, dvbgs02, and the number of dialogues, number of backgrounds, number of spools, and the physical memory. Everything will be different, right? Same or different? This system and this system is having same information or different? See, this instance name is 00 and instance name is ASCS00. This physical memory is different. In this, we have message server and NQ. This instance number is 01, instance name is DVMBGS, and physical memory is some 4GB. And host name is India. This host name is Japan, and 02 name is DVBJ02, and the physical memory is some 8GB, and the dialogues are number of dialogues, number of background, number of updates, number of spools are different. So if I how many instances I have here? Anyone?
Two
Three.
instances.
How many
Three, sir.
SAP instances I have here? 3, right? What are they?
Yes, sir. India, Japan, Korea.
India, Japan, Korea. What are they? India, Japan, and Korea. 3 hosts, boss. That is not instance. Remember,
Host
this
name,
is
host name.
instance number, instance name, instance number 00, instance number 01, instance number 02, instance number 03. How many instances I have?
Four.
0, 1, 2, 3.
Four.
4 instances. Instance is different, host is different. Within one host, I can have multiple instances. I told you that only, na, yesterday. Complete class,
Yes.
right? Again, you are coming to the same old story. Yesterday, complete class, we discussed about that instance only. Instance is what? Group of services. To start up, you require some RAM memory and processor. So clearly, I am mentioning 4 instance numbers here, and you are saying 3 hosts here, not 3 instances, 4 instances. Okay.
Okay.
So how many instance profiles should I have?
Four, sir.
4. How many default profiles should I have? Default profiles. Only one default profile. Even though you have 100 application servers, even though you have 100 instances, the common information is kept at one location. That's it. So one default profile. You will get one default profile only for entire SAP system. Only one default profile will be there. If you got any confusion, no need to worry. Tomorrow also we are going to discuss about this topic only. Till you get clarity, I don't leave you. Don't worry. Okay. One default profile. Why one default profile? You're keeping the common information, right? Every instance will have a common information. Different common information. No, only one common information will be there. That is one default profile. And how many instance profiles you'll get? One default profile, 4 instance profiles. And how many start profiles you'll get?
Start. Three. Three.
How 3?
ACS. Database. Sorry. Four. Database. ACS. AS.
So when ASCS is starting, first it will start the database, then message server, then NQ. Finish. When this PAS is starting, already database started, message server started, NQ started. Only it will start dispatcher, gateway, work process. And this also. Separate host name, separate instance number, separate. So you will have 4 start profiles. But don't worry about that start profiles. Now there is no start profile. Start profile is obsolete now. Only default profile and instance profiles are there. Whatever the start profile entries, they are integrated into default and instance profile now. Now you have only 2 types of profiles. One is default profile, second one is instance profile. If you have 10 instances, you will get 10 instance profiles. If you have 10 instances, you will have only one default profile. Remember that. So I'm explaining you why start profile means. Start profile was there. You should know what is the meaning of the start profile, what is there, what was there in that start profile, why SAP is obsolete. Why SAP is obsolete? Why SAP is obsolete that start profile? Means see, now I'll show you why they deleted that start profile. See, if I open this default profile, I can change the parameters. USR, SAP, SID, sys, profile. Profile. Open that. I can change my SID, I can change my host names, I can change everything, anything. These are the parameters, right? This is parameter and this is the value, right? these are all the parameters, parameter and value. Everything is a parameter and a value, right? If there is a parameter and value, why SAP is keeping that parameter and value? If you want, you can tune according to your requirement. Fine. Default profile contains some parameters and values. Instance profile. If you open that instance profile, see, these are what? These are the parameters, these are the values. These are the parameters and these are the values. Everything is a parameter here, right? Okay. That means you can change this also. If you open the start profile, do you have any parameter there? See, it is just instructions are there. See, execute strdbs.cmd, then execute start program msg underscore server.exe, then start program. It is initiating you, it is commanding you to do that. It is commanding not to you also, system itself. So is there any parameter? Can I change anything here? The starting sequence? No. So this start profile don't contain any parameters. So nothing is there in your hand to change. Then why you are keeping here, boss? For example, if accidentally I, for example, I put this hash here, some consultant put some hash here, khatam. The system won't read this line. So what happens? Your database will not start. Finish. This is happening with so many customers. If some consultants accidentally changes something in the start profile without any knowledge, your system is hang, your system is gone. Why you are keeping that profile here, and why our consultants are doing the changes, and why my business is losing? Unnecessary thing, na? This one is unnecessary here. If you keep that profile, okay, this one I can change, this one I can change. The consultants will think, okay, this one also I can do changes. If I got any problem, I'll do some change here. Or else accidentally someone deleted this one. There is a file. There might be some accident happen, right? Accidentally you deleted that file. You cannot start your SAP system. That is the reason SAP is obsolete in next versions. The start profile and integrated the start profile into this default profile and instance profile. You cannot change anything in the start profile. That is a standard procedure how your SAP systems should start. But here in instance profile and default profile, there are parameters. You can change that. You can tune that parameters according to your requirement. That is the reason start profile is obsolete now. Clear with this? Default profile contains the common information of SAP system. Instance profile contains instance specific information. Every instance will have its own specific information. Okay, tell me. Now I am your okay. In this course, we have some parameters related to default profile, some parameters related to instance profile. I'll tell you what are they. Your course. What is your course? All 8 people's course is what? SAP basis. Right? Your class mode, online or offline? Online. Your trainer, for all only one trainer or different trainers? Only one trainer, right? And the class timing 3 p.m. for all. These 4 are common parameters for you, right or wrong?
Right, sir.
These parameters you put in the default profile. And instance specific parameters means your specific parameters are there. Your name, everybody will have different names, unique names. Everybody will have their own experiences, their own educational qualifications, and they belongs to some different own locations, right? You all have your own information, and you all have some common information. Am I right or wrong?
Right, sir.
As a group, as a group, you have some own information, some common information. That common information is keeping in the default profile, and your own information is keeping in the instance profile. So if you have 8 people means 8 own informations are there, right? And one common information is there. What is that common information? Your course, your tutor name,
Course.
your class time, your class mode. These are the parameters, and the values are 3 p.m. SAP basis, Jahangir. These are the values. And you all have your own parameters, your name, your qualification, your native, and your education, your experience. These are all the parameters and the values you know. So everyone will have their own parameters. The same way, if I have 4 instances, means every instance will have its own number, name, host name, the physical memory, and the type of work process and the number of work process, right? If I have 4 instances, means I'll have 4 instance profiles. Even though I have 4 instances, how many default profiles I'll have? The common information is only one. SAP SID, 1. DB SID, database hostname, message server hostname, NQ server hostname. This is the common information. That will be kept at one profile. The individual information will be kept at individual files. That's it. Clear with this?
Yes, sir.
It's very clear.
Now, how many types of profiles we have?
3.
3. What are they?
Default profile, instance profile, start profile.
Yeah, default profile contains what?
It is same thing.
Common information of your SAP system will store it in default profile. Start profile contains what? Starting sequence of your SAP system. Instance profile contains what? Instance specific information of your SAP system. Instance specific means instance number, instance name, instance host name, the physical memory, the number of work process, and the type of work process. Right? If I have 5 application servers, how many instance profiles I'll have? If I have 5 application servers, how many instance profiles I'll have? 5. Excellent. If I have 5 application servers, how many default profiles I'll have?
1, sir.
Only 1. If I have 5 application servers, how many start profiles I'll have? 5.
1, sir.
5.
Yes, sir.
5. Start profiles also 5. When this starting, the information is different. When this is starting, the information is different. Different host, different number, different starting sequence. So at anyhow, leave that start profile. Now there is no start profile. Okay. And I am saying, whenever I start SAP, it is reading the profiles. Why should you believe me? When you see practically, then only you should believe, right? I'll stop now. I'll stop my SAP system. How to stop? Right click, stop, and say refresh. It will turn into gray. Fine. Now my system is stopped. What I am saying, when I start my SAP, it is reading profiles. First it will read the start profile, then default profile, and the instance profile. Now what I do, I delete that profile from there. USR SAP SID sys profile. Okay. I'll delete these profiles from here. Cut. Chalo. Now there is no profile, right? Now I'll try to start the system. What happens? Is it starting? No. You keep on refreshing. So hence proved, while starting your SAP system, it will read profiles first. If you, that means if your system is not starting, first where you check?
Profile.
You need to check whether the profile directories are present or not. Then if they are okay, then you need to check your services. Where the services are present, go to run and say services.msc and check whether all your Oracle services, 3 Oracle services, Oracle Home Agent, Oracle TNS Listener, this one is TNS Listener, this is one is Home Agent, and this one is Oracle Service SID. These 3 services are started or not? Started, right? And SAP services, SAP Schema Service, SAP OS Call, both are started. So these are the basic things you have to check whether all the services started, whether my profile data is on. See, now I'll keep that profiles at the same location. Location please, USR, SAP,
User lab,
SID,
SAP,
sys,
yeah,
profile.
Profile.
Now we'll see what happens. Go and try to start your system.
start,
It is started. That means it is reading profiles. That profiles contains some parameters. According to that parameter, your work process will be configured. Whatever you written in that profile parameters, now that many work process will configure. Like that, your host name will be configured, SID will be configured, and the instance number will be configured. So these profiles contains parameters. These parameters will define the runtime environment of your SAP system. Remember this statement. Tomorrow we'll discuss. Profiles contains what? Parameters. These parameters will define the runtime environment of your SAP system. How your SAP system should behave. So when you are logging into any banking, internet banking, what it will do? For every 3 months, it will ask you to change the password. Why? There is a parameter that is restriction. Minimum password. What is that? Minimum password expiry. 90 days. The parameter is that 90 days is a value. After 90 days, you have to change that. Minimum password length, minimum password digits. Minimum password length is 8. If you are saying 4 letters, 5 alphabets, no, it won't take. Minimum 8 letters should be there. So minimum special characters in your password, that is a parameter. That is 1, value is 1, for example. So minimum 1 special character you need to use. Everything, your systems will behave how you configure your parameters. This all banking sectors, whatever the online sectors you log in, everything will have a parameters. That systems will behave how you configure that parameter. I'll show you tomorrow how to change that parameters and how they affect on your system. Okay, everything we'll see tomorrow. Any doubts from today's session?